Hey there everybody! I just thought I would come on and give you guys a little update on how things are going in our area. So with COVID-19, everybody has had a train wreck of a year, and things had appeared to be lightening up and getting better and, you know, all those fun things. But recently in our area, things have actually gotten worse. So we have had a lot of changes in the past 2 weeks, and it has been very hard. So there were a few stores that were requiring masks, but not very many. But as of last Monday, almost every single grocery store and department store are now requiring face masks, including places like Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, Target, Aldi. A lot of the thrift stores that I shop at require face masks. So that has been a huge shift. And I'm not gonna lie, being 33 weeks pregnant, it has not been easy. Baby's growing, and it is getting harder and harder for me to breathe. So with that being said, we took a trip to Menards a few weeks ago, and they're one of the places that require a face mask, and we were there for one board. So naturally we weren't there for very long. About 10 to 15 minutes into the trip, I started sweating, and then I started feeling a little bit dizzy, and shortly after that I started hyperventilating, and I doubled over kind of into the cart a little bit, and Jesse he's such a calm guy. He did such a great job, but he wanted to make sure that I was okay. He was asking me lots of questions, and he was like, okay, like, let's get out of here. You can't have that mask on. And so I almost passed out on the way out, and we get outside, and I couldn't even make it to the car right away. I had to stop and kind of lean up against a pillar for a while just to catch my breath and try to breathe. And it took a very long time the rest of the day to kind of, I would say several hours, to kind of feel normal again. And so that was very scary. But it could have been a fluke. Maybe I wasn't feeling well. So then fast forward to a week later, and I ran into a thrift store, and they had just recently changed their policy, and I wasn't aware until I got there, but we keep our masks in the car just in case. So it was just Eloise and I, and we get there, and I would say, again, maybe 10 minutes into shopping, and pretty much the exact same thing happens, except Jesse wasn't there this time. And so we had to leave and get the masks off, and I couldn't drive for a while because I was feeling so bad. So Eloise and I just kind of chilled outside until I felt better and it was safe for me to get home. But that has been really scary and made it very hard with all of the mandates to wear the masks. It's not safe for me to wear a mask while being this pregnant. It's kind of scary, actually. So then fast forward to this week, and I had a doctor's appointment at the beginning of this week, and I was just talking to my doctor because it gives me a lot of anxiety And it's very frustrating because I've got to go out and about. I've got to go get groceries and do things. And so I was just sharing with my doctor, like, it's added a lot of stress for me and made it very challenging for me mentally, just to kind of make it through the day, knowing that I'm going to have to go grocery shopping in a couple of days. And so she wrote me an exemption letter, basically saying that for my health, while I'm pregnant, I cannot wear a mask. It's dangerous for my health. That was a couple of days ago, and I haven't been to any stores since then. And I am dreading it because I don't like conflict. I don't like to have uncomfortable conversations with people, and I just feel like this is going to be one of those things that's going to be uncomfortable and could possibly cause conflict. So I haven't tried it out yet. We'll see. I am hoping and praying that the greeters and the people at the grocery stores and department stores are understanding, and it's not an issue for me not to wear a mask. So it's one of those things that it's just frustrating, nerve-wracking. On top of being pregnant, it's just one more thing that we have to deal with right now. And I'm just over it. But what can you do? So wish me luck as I'm going shopping for the first time at different places and dealing with people trying to not wear a face mask. The other big aspect of this is schools. So our school systems are working so hard to figure out how they are going to handle the school year coming up in about a month, because it's the end of July, almost August 1st. And so they are working really hard to try and figure out what to do. And from what I understand, I think that most schools are offering 3 different options. So one is going back to school full-time. 2 is doing a hybrid of a few days at school and a few days at home. And then the other option is basically homeschooling, but through the public school system. So you would have all of the same things that most students have had through the end of last semester, which would be Zoom calls and all of their homework and lessons online, but they would be closely monitored through your teacher and all of that fun stuff. So the teacher would still be like teaching you, but it would just be from your house instead. And I'm a part of several mom groups in my area, and that has been the number one topic of conversation is what is everybody doing for the school year. And I know that there has been a lot of talk about homeschooling, and if you didn't know, I was homeschooled, but I dual enrolled, so I did things like sports and band and PE and those sort of things, and my husband was public schooled. And even though we have a long time before Eloise is going to be in school, we've already decided that we're going to homeschool. And so it's just been very interesting, like reading and hearing everybody's thoughts on everything as far as this semester coming up and how it's going to be and how it's going to take place with mask wearing and social distancing at schools and all of that. And I know that a lot of moms are leaning towards just homeschooling, and so it'll be very interesting to see if there's a spike in homeschoolers, or if what happened last semester was a huge turnoff and scared people away from homeschooling, because I know that it was very hard on a lot of parents. But the biggest thing that I will say is there was no warning, there was no prep. A lot of parents one of them had to stop working to be home with their kids and all this stuff. And so it's not like it was, hey, I'm planning to homeschool and going into it, prepared. It was, no, we're throwing you into this, and there was no warning. So I feel like some people, at least some, if not a lot of people, just have a bad taste in their mouth about homeschooling, when that's really not a good representation of that. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a spike, or if there's maybe a decline, or if it just kind of stays the same. But that's kind of what's going on as far as the school systems go in our area. So I hope that wherever you're watching from, that your cases of COVID-19 are going down and not up like ours, and that your restrictions are easing up and not tightening, because I know that we're all in this together and we're all dealing with this, and it's all hard. But if we can just encourage each other and work together, hopefully this thing can be done and over with sooner rather than later. So I hope that everyone that's watching is staying safe, and you and your families are healthy and doing well in this really, really tough time. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.